I would appeal to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica that life is more important than party. And Jamaica is more important than party politics. In America, partisan politics is literally destroying the country. So even though we disagree, that disagreement should never allow us to take the life of another human being simply because they are a member of a different party.
Hi guys, once again welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Larry, and in today's video it's all about Louis Farrakhan. Now Louis Farrakhan has come out and sent a very strong warning message to Jamaicans ahead of the oncoming general elections. Now, if it's for the first time you're coming across my videos, my channel, please don't forget to like my videos, comment, and also most importantly subscribe to my channel. So watch this video till the end, and then I'll be back with a few comments.
I would appeal to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica that life is more important than party. And Jamaica is more important than party politics. In America, partisan politics is literally destroying the country. So even though we disagree, that disagreement should never allow us to take the life of another human being simply because they are a member of a different party.
On an official visit to the Gleaner, Minister Farrakhan, who was a key player in the organisation of America's Million Man March in October of 1995, said Jamaican politics should be about more than just political tribalism and thuggery.
So now if I got a yellow shirt or a green shirt, does that mean that it has deprived me of my humanity? So we've got to outgrow these immature expressions of our differences. Jamaican politics must never degenerate into thuggishness. Politics is a means to an end, and the end should always be for the good of the island of Jamaica and all its people.
But in a bleak warning to Jamaica, Minister Farrakhan warned of a revolution by the people unless government acted quickly to rectify Jamaica's debt problem.
There's a bitter pill that Jamaica has to swallow because of the debt of $216 billion and the slowdown in the economy. So let us hope and let us pray that we will be able to ease the pain through good politics, but at the same time, if we don't move quickly, the masses will rise in Jamaica just like they're doing all over the world. And what I would hate to see is that a well-armed army and police force will shoot down those in the street who want to see genuine change that benefits Jamaica.
It's beautiful. You got one of the most beautiful anthems in the world. And you got a seat in the United Nations. Big up for you. But independence, you don't have that yet. Independence, you don't have that yet. Brothers and sisters, how could we be independent and then allowing ourselves to continue to function under the institutions of our former colonial and slave masters. My teacher taught me that if a man won't treat you right, what will make you think he will teach you right? So you mean you gonna put your children under a system made by your enemies and theirs? If you want to be free, the first thing you have to think about is what kind of education should we possess that will allow us to continue what Norman Manley and Bustamante and Michael Manley, the journey that they put us on, it ain't over yet. So you don't have nothing to celebrate if you're not marching toward the goal of true liberation, true independence. Now, what kind of education are you receiving? Well, we are under the British system. I think that's a problem. How do I know that? Because you have not proved in the 50 years of your independence that you are not still bound to your former colonial and slave masters. When Sister Portia came into her second time of office, I was somewhere in the United States and I read, she said, we need to move toward being a republic. I don't know, did you hear that? Yes, sir. She said we need to say goodbye to the Queen. Not disrespectful. We need to say to the Governor General, you're a good man. No. But no longer should you be the Queen's representative as the head of state. Don't you think we can handle our affairs? That's what independence means. Some of you mothers and fathers, you rear your children, they leave your house. If they back the next week, Mama, can I borrow some sugar and tea? She said, well, what you left for? If you can't go out and make it on your own, then you should have stayed in the room that I gave you. So now you coming back. That's how white people look at you. I give you independence, you don't want to take it. Your educators should be developing an educational system that frees your mind from white supremacy influence.
My mother told me, because I really never met the man, was a Jamaican, very handsome, So he was a handsome Jamaican man. And he had light skin and what they call good hair. Lord help us. Hair has now a moral quality attached to it. But she told me that my grandfather, his father, was Portuguese. So I said, Portuguese? Then as I matured, I saw that in the Inquisitions in Spain and Portugal, many members of the Jewish people who had mastered in Europe the sugarcane industry in Spain, they had become great, we call it entrepreneurs, financiers. But in order for them to continue to live, they either had to say, I'm a Christian to survive, or flee. And many fled Spain and Portugal and came to what is called the West Indies and South America, namely Brazil. Now, if you study the slave trade, I don't want to labor on that so much, but in the Babylonian Talmud, did you know it was a rabbi that said that black people are cursed, black, doomed to be hewers of wood and drawers of water, because we are the children of Ham, that son of Noah that disrespected him? When you look at how black people are treated, no matter where we go in the world, that poison that we are somehow an inferior people, doomed to be hewers of wood and drawers of water of Caucasian people. And they teach this to their children. So when you meet them, you meet somebody who approaches you with a superior attitude.
Teach, brother.
And unfortunately, we have responded by bowing and acting in a servitude-like manner. But you know, as I studied the migration of the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Dutch, the French to the Caribbean, it was slavery that enriched Europe. And no matter what branch of Europe colonized or enslaved us, the British took away our African names and gave us English names, right? And most of us carry those names today. True? None of us spoke or speak today the language of our country and culture. We speak English because the English captured us and gave us not only their language, but their religion.
Yes, sir.
And they bred into us the hatred that they have for other members of the family of Europe that they were always fighting against. So the British and the French never got along too well. The British and the Spaniards never got along too well. And so here we are, we the British representatives. Is a Christian because the French made him that. You see? Yes, sir. So now the Spanish, oh, let's go to Puerto Rico or to Cuba.
Yes, yes.
When Spain conquered, they did the same thing to the African. Take away your name, take away your language, take away your culture, give you their language, give you their religion, and impose upon you their mind.
Yes, sir.
So here we are in the Caribbean. We are so divided, not just between British or English-speaking West Indians, French-speaking, Dutch-speaking, Spanish-speaking, French-speaking. No, no, no. We are worse than that. When I was a little boy, I heard a calypso song that was written by a Trinidadian, a Calypsonian, long time ago. Small island, go back where you come from. Small island, go back where you come from. You come by the 1 and the 2 and the 3. Now I find you up inside me breadfruit tree. Small island, go back where you come from. Now look, he was talking about the Bajans. What am I saying, my dear family? We were not only divided by the languages and cultures of Europe, we began to be divided even by our islands. So Jamaica and Barbados and Trinidad and St. Lucia and Anguilla, all of the islands, they had some beef against somebody from another island. And in America, when West Indian people started coming, they couldn't hang out with their own islanders. They had to go to a church, and for the first time, people from all the islands learned each other, learned to live together, learned to work together, learned to plan together for the advancement of those from the West Indies. And it was in that environment that the languages of the Caribbean, the dialects of the Caribbean nurtured my life. So now when you look at the introduction of slavery in the West Indies, you find that the Europeans and also members of the Jewish people bought up all the land. So the land where we worked in the cane fields was owned by somebody else. So we were always the plantation workers, but rich white people were the plantation owners. And so they made the wealth from us, but we just barely survived. So now, the Caribbean gave to the world sugar, bananas, pineapple, rice, and coffee. And in Brazil, there was sugar, tobacco, cocoa, and cotton. And the whites were the masters of the production and marketing of all those things. And of course, the British, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the Spanish, all controlled these territories at various times. But no matter which European nation controlled the land and the sea, it mainly was the Jewish merchants who controlled the profitable trade in the produce of the Caribbean and America. And so here we are today.
So guys, once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You'll actually have to excuse my voice. I'm not at my very best, but I had to do this video. So that was Louis Farrakhan. Now Louis Farrakhan was sending out a very clear warning message to Jamaicans ahead of the oncoming general elections during his visit in Jamaica. Now, this warning message doesn't just go to the Jamaicans alone, but this goes to any other countries in Africa. because we've seen a lot of people really unalive their fellow people just because this person is supporting this other party. Louis Farrakhan has come out and said that there is a life beyond the elections. There is a life beyond what you're supporting. There is a life beyond the party that you are supporting. And what happens after you hurt your fellow human being? What happens when you unalive your fellow? What happens after you cause harm? You fight against each other. Not that this act will be reversed at any point. So he has urged people not to forget that they all belong to one race, which is humanity. Whatever party you support, it shouldn't bring out big differences between you and your neighbor. This person you unaliving is a parent somewhere. This person is a husband somewhere. This person is a wife. This person is a sister, a brother, and a daughter, and a son to somebody. So at the end of the day, this act that you carry out in the name of I'm supporting this party, that politician will not step up in any way to support what you've done. So what Minister Louis Farrakhan is majorly advising is that Africans and the Caribbeans, we should not forget that we are all humans, and all these can't be possible if we don't unite. We all have our differences. Everybody supports his preferred party type, but we all know that at the end of the day, we need each other to survive. We need each other so that our country can prosper. We need each other so that our lives, we can better ourselves by being together, by uniting, by staying united. So I'd really love for you guys, please watch this video, like it, so that comment, let's have a big engagement so that this video can be recommended to a wider audience, because we need to create this bigger awareness between ourselves, we as people who support different political parties. So guys, I'm your host Larry, and I actually have to appreciate you for watching my videos up to this point. Please, if you're coming across my channel or my videos for the first time, don't forget to like my videos, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel if you have the best interest of African liberation and Caribbeans, and that includes the Jamaican at heart. Like my channel. So I'm your host Larry, and until we meet again in my next video, peace out and one love.